Someone asked, what's the difference between meditation and prayer? Really, meditation and prayer are one and the same. There's not really a difference. Meditation really has two different categories. There is objective meditation and subjective meditation. I've made a video, actually, I think titled that, two different types of meditation. So I won't go into full detail in this, but essentially meditation that is objective is focusing the attention on an object, such as a mantra, so a sound, or a candle flame, or the breath, the body, anything that is objective. And subjective meditation is allowing the attention to rest in its source, which is the subject. The attention is coming from the subject and is attending an object. So there are many different objective meditations, many different mantras, many different sounds to focus the attention on, many different sensations, many different images, focusing on a white light, focusing on the heart area, focusing on the rise and fall of the belly, focusing on the breath, focusing on, doesn't matter. It's just to see that actually this category of meditation, objective meditation, there's many objects that the attention is attending. You can attend this object, that object, this object, that object. So that is objective meditation, where the attention is going towards an object. Subjective meditation, there's only one subject. So there's many objects, but there's only one subject. And each object is a form. Now, there could be a gross form, such as the body, focusing on the belly, rising and falling. That would be more gross. More subtle would be a mantra, a sound. And more subtle than the sound would be the breath. But these objects, whether they be gross or subtle, are still objects. They're still forms. Could be gross forms or subtle forms, but it's still a form. A sound form, a thought form, an image form. It's still a form because an object is a form. The subject is formless. So the attention is going from formless to form. And there's many different forms that are objects. This is objective meditation. But there's only one subject, and that subject is formless. Allowing the attention to rest in the formless subject is subjective meditation. So those are the two types of meditation. And just like that, we could say that there are also two types of prayer. Because just like the objective meditation, we can say that there's objective prayer, different forms of prayer. There's many different prayers. Could be this saint, this activity, this image, this song. All of these different forms of prayer are still objective. So there's many different forms of prayer. To have love for this saint or that saint. To have love for Jesus. There's the love for the form, Jesus as the form, this saint as the form, perhaps the image of the form, this written prayer, that written prayer, this song. These are all different forms. So you see that it's very similar, if not the same, as the objective meditation, this objective prayer. But there's also a subjective prayer. And that's when this love for the object, for perhaps this saint or that saint, when the love for Jesus as a person, as a body, as a human, when that love is no longer going towards a person or a written prayer or this activity that's a prayer or this song that's a prayer, and instead that love is resting in itself. When that love stops going towards an object, that love is actually the subject. That love for God is God's love for you. So it's no longer love for a form, but it's now love for this formless, this formless love. The formless love is love for the formless. So you see the two similarities. That one is more of this attention. And this attention is typically referred to when we think of meditation as more of the mind. And when people start with these objective meditations, many different types of meditations, which one do you want? There's so many to choose from. But when we break it down like this, we see that actually there's just actually two types of meditation. There's many objects to meditate on. Meditate on this, meditate on that. And it's seen as something that we are doing with the mind. Whereas the prayer is seen as something that we are doing with the heart. One is more seen as the mind, and the other is seen more as the heart. One is seen as more as this attention, and the other is seen as more love. One is seen as more of discipline, and the other is seen as more of devotion. This discipline to focus the attention on the candle flame, to really focus the attention on the mantra. Whereas the others, we don't focus the attention on this saint or that saint, this prayer or that prayer. No, it's a love for this prayer. It's a love for that saint. It's a love for this image of God. But it's really the same thing. It's just a different perspective. One appears to be more mind-based, the other appears to be more heart-based. One appears to be more discipline, the other appears to be more devotion. But when we look at the subject of meditation and the subject of prayer, or the formless meditation and the formless prayer, there's actually no difference. They're the exact same. That the ultimate prayer is the ultimate meditation. There's no difference. It's as if there's this merge, that the mind and the heart have merged. The discipline and devotion have merged. So this is why I say that, well, really the meditation and prayer are actually one and the same. They only appear to be different. Different perspectives, perhaps, different traditions, different sides of the world. But when we look at it very clearly like this, we can really see that there's two forms of meditation, two forms of prayer. And at the ultimate level, the formless meditation and the formless prayer are the exact same. to know yourself is to know God. Hopefully this helps. See you in the next one.